Good evening, everybody. My name is Patrick Liu. I am producer at Dice. I flew in yesterday from Sweden in Stockholm, in Europe. It was a 20-hour flight, but seeing all you guys here talking how happy you are to see the game was totally worth the 20 hours. Now, we at Dice, when we create a new Battlefield game, we always try to innovate something, to make something fresh within the game. But with Battlefield 3, I would say that we have refreshed everything in the game. Basically, by making a new engine. So Frostbite 2 is what we've seen already in Need for Speed. We have seen the rendering is amazing, like both in the trailer and Need for Speed. And I would say it's almost like a next-gen engine for current-gen platforms, right? And we're not just doing rendering, we do a lot of other stuff as well. So animation is one of those things. So you also saw Christian present FIFA 12. You see how the players are moving around, they're really realistic, really fluid in their movements. And imagine that we took that animation system and brought that into Battlefield 3. And that's how good the game looks. The soldiers running around, gunning down the enemies, they look also amazing. Now apart from that, we also have the biggest maps that we ever made before. We have new streaming technology, so the maps are bigger than ever before, have a totally dynamic environment, so you can pick off small micro-destruction, like pick off small pieces of the wall from the covers of enemies, to tearing down a whole facade of a building in the urban environments. And on top of that, we have audio from our award-winning team that made Bad Company 2. So all that is a package that is the most ambitious game we've ever made at Dice. Now, we introduced the whole game in March at GDC by showing the single-player campaign. It's a map called Fault Line. You're playing as Sergeant Blackburn, which you see here on the picture. He runs down a bad part of Tehran and shoots some bad guys, and then there's like a whole earthquake that rips open the whole ground, and there's a whole house falling over him, showing the level of destruction that we have in the game. Now 3 months later, we showed another map called Thunder Run. You play as another character in the campaign called Lieutenant Miller, and he's driving a tank throughout the desert. Big open landscape, sandbox experience, very typical for Battlefield, and I want to show that part as well. Now, single player is just a tip of an iceberg. We have that. We've shown in Bad Company 2 we can make epic single player campaigns. We have made best-in-class multiplayer games ever since Battlefield 1942. And now we're adding a completely new component, which is co-op. Now co-op is as simple and as fun as it sounds. You play together with a buddy online. It's a completely different storyline, so it's not the same as the single player. The missions are specifically made for co-op. They're unique for the co-op campaign. And you can expect everything that you do from the other parts of the game. You can drive ground vehicles, air vehicles, you can run around in town shooting bad guys. You'll be able to play that there if you haven't already, as there are people actually playing right now. Pretty cool. Before I delve deeper into that, I just also want to mention what we call Battlelog. Now Battlelog is the new social platform for Battlefield 3. You already seen taste of it in Audiolog and Need for Speed. And now you can collect all your friends in one place and see what they're doing. You can access this from the PC. You can even access it from a console and other platforms. You see what's happening all around you all the time in something that we call a battle feed. So you see if they do status updates, they need help for the next match. They're doing some smack talk, you see what weapon they unlock, you see the rewards that they get, and everything's happening in real time. And now, we also have stats, obviously. You're going to be able to track every single aspect of your progress. You can compare it with your friends, you can compare it with the enemies. And the best part of all this is it's all free. It's not a special service that we charge for. It's part of Battlefield 3, and it's for free. Now, the co-op campaign, some of you guys have already played it over there, but for those that haven't played it yet, it's designed to be much harder than the single-player campaign. It's made for the hardcore guys, so you have to work together or you will die, I can assure you of that. Now, the actual teamwork here is not something that we force upon you, but just as the philosophy with multiplayer game, all things you do together is voluntary. So we don't force you to work together, but if you do, you'll be much more successful and you will have much more fun doing it. So, with that, I will also want to show you another trailer. It shows you our physical warfare pack that you will get if you pre-order the game from certain retailers.